Hey Sleepers, this is SUPERZOMGBBQ and now we're going to have a look at the best and the worst. You guys asked for it, so we're going to make it happen. We are going to look at the best to worst of both male and female in SummerSlam 18 tier. So if you're happy about this list and you want to see more of this kind of thing, looking at the beginning of a tier, this one is significantly earlier than I usually do it. Smash the like button as hard as you possibly can, subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on, but we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna start off in the bottom 10. We're gonna start off at number 10, which is no, he's not Ty Dillinger, he's not even in the tier. It is Bo Dallas, because Bo leaving doesn't seem enough, even though I expected to see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel at the bottom of the leaderboard. However, he's not. He's bottom 10, and moving at number 9 is Luke Gallows. He is a little bit sweeter than his other tag team partner who's coming up at the moment, but unfortunately, being a good brother doesn't save you from the bottom 10. But then, as you would expect some of the cruiserweights to end up in the bottom 10, Drew Gulak is no exception to that, and he ends up as 8th worst. This next one is talking about Karl Anderson, Johnny Gargano, and Hideo Itami, who make up the 7th spot. Bit weird that Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows are different, but you know, I would have expected also Gargano to be a little bit higher. Another 205 live, you know, it makes sense when you look at the whole list. Moving down, you got Mustafa Ali. That is a massive, in my opinion. That's horrible placing in the tier. Mustafa Ali should be mid-tier. He's got so much ability. Same as the next person, Buddy Murphy, who ties with Eric Young as the 5th worst in the tier. Have you not seen Buddy Murphy in this game? Do you not tune in to Tuesday nights and see 205 live? It seems like Cat Daddy are busy on Tuesday evenings. And Eric Young, part of Sanity, they've not really shown their best in the WWE so far, but hopefully that is going to change now they've finally appeared out of nowhere. Talking about teams coming into the WWE and doing nothing, Akam. Yeah. Akam, part of the Authors of Pain. Moving on though, the 3rd worst in the tier, and these are really surprising. Some of these numbers in here are really surprising. Killian Dane, you have to do Sanity like that? It's just literally the bottom cards in this tier are basically AOP. We've got Reza, who is the 2nd worst in the tier, who is the Akam's teammate. And that follows up with Alexander Wolfe. Again, surprising. Why, you know, it just comes across as a bit of a Wyatt family from a few years ago, but they had Rowan and Harper at the bottom, yeah, and Braun Strowman. It just that makes no sense at all. But you know what? We don't have to agree with it. That is the facts, though. It is the bottom of that leaderboard, and we're going to move on upwards through that list, where we talk about the middle section of the leaderboard, and we're going to move up. Just missing the bottom 10 is Curtis Axel, Shelton Benjamin, Elias, and Trent Seven, the newest addition to WWE SuperCard. It's actually a couple of new additions in this tier as well. Bobby Roode then follows. You then got Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Tyler Bate. Makes sense because of the Mustache Mountain and Undisputed Era. Tommaso Ciampa, NXT Champion, Andrade Cien Almas. I'm guessing they put those together because they were the NXT Champions. Kane, Baron Corbin, Adam Cole, Cedric Alexander, Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, Tyler Bate. I think that's the most that we've ever had in the same stats ranking. 5 in the same stats ranking. And they keep going up. You see the likes of Dean Ambrose, who I thought was actually quite a weak card. He's actually middle of the pack. Kevin Owens, actually a little bit lower. Bray Wyatt in the same level as him. I think some of the rankings are a little bit mixed up. And then we just go outside the top 10 with Shinsuke Nakamura. Then you got Bobby Lashley, Dolph Ziggler, Finn Balor, and Rusev all fighting out for 12th place, where Samoa Joe just sneaks in at 11. But before we go on to the guys' top 10, we're going to look at all of the ladies. And it's time to look at some very interesting. In fact, there are going to be a lot of people who are really confused and not happy about this. Oh boy. So, where do we start? First of all, the worst in the tier, Sonya Deville. Not surprising. Mandy Rose, Sarah Logan coming in just above them, Liv Morgan. That is not surprising in the slightest, because they're all from Absolution and Riot Squad. You know, although it's very surprising that Ruby Riot's not in the tier, even though she has a card, but you know, whatever. Nikki Cross then makes another appearance in a SuperCard tier, and it's actually, it's got a really nice image, but it's not a good card in the tier. Moving up, Naomi, and her card looks really, really nice. She's got the glow thing going on, like 100%. The next one is going to shock a lot of you. Asuka. What does... I know she's kind of, you know, she's out of the picture at the moment, but losing to CARMELLA moved Asuka down that much. That's kind of crazy. Ember Moon comes up next. That's not surprising. Middle of the pack. She's not really done much on Raw, but I hope she's going to have a bigger role given that Ronda Rousey is now the champion. Natalya and Shayna Baszler tied up in the middle of the pack as we move up to Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, who are tied in the middle. Probably going to be the same for a while, given that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair are now at loggerheads and warring at each other. Moving on to the top three, though, this again is going to get a few people annoyed, and we're going to try to talk about why they're annoyed. And the first one is the third place, Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax, you can understand why she's third. She is the unmovable object. She is also technically the irresistible force, and she's definitely not like most girls. The number two, however, when you look at Nia Jax and you compare this person, CARMELLA, number two, tied with Ronda. Are you serious? Ronda Rousey and CARMELLA are the same stats in this tier. I mean, what? I know CARMELLA is at the champion, but just, yeah. Listen, CARMELLA, I think you're great, but you ain't on the level of Ronda Rousey, and neither was Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, even though she is top of the list. Me personally, I'd rather have a Ronda Rousey card. That card looks amazing, but just imagine having Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. Alternatively, actually technically thinking about it, toughness and charisma, you want to have yourself a Ronda Rousey, Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey tag. Boom. Thank you very much. Anyone who has that tag is gonna win big. But we don't have time to wait around. Those are the females. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below as we move on to the top 10 males. These are the top 10 cards in the game. Other than the event cards, which we're not going to include on this list, this includes some of the biggest and best names. And we're going to start off with the new Intercontinental Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Not surprising to see him up here because of his prowess in the ring now. He has been a now two-time Intercontinental Champion. He is making waves, and hopefully, now that the WWE Universal Championship is off of Brock Lesnar's waist, we'll see him challenging, whether it's Roman Reigns or someone else, for that Universal Championship. Moving on up, we have Seth Rollins. Basically, it's the same, effectively the same kind of version of Seth Rollins in the past, and that is Shawn Michaels. Not surprising to see him up here, although personally I would have put him number 3 or something. But, you know, it is what it is. Shawn Michaels, awesome that he's there. I like the image as well that he's got on the card. Just my personal preference though, and even though a lot of people aren't a huge fan of the image, I personally like it a lot. Moving on up, Brock Lesnar is below Roman Reigns and several other superstars on this list. I mean, oh boy, I think this is the first time Brock Lesnar's been out the top 5 in a tier, or even the top 3 in the tier, since like WrestleMania tier back in season 1. I mean, even then I don't even think he had a Survivor card, did he? God, I'm just trying to think back. Maybe Legendary tier. He's never been out the top 5 for any card, so the fact that he's there is insane. In fact, if someone could actually help me out with that piece of trivia, that'd be amazing, but it doesn't look like Brock's very favourable, because just in front of him is a new Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. The guy with the biggest pecs. He's there, and he New Universal Champion, not surprising, he's above them. But above both of them, which makes even less sense, Braun Strowman, the Mr. Money in the Bank or Monster in the Bank. Above him, though, you can't really complain with this, though. Goldberg. I mean, come on, it's amazing. And he would be an amazing tag to 3 of the other people who are at the top. First of all, Daniel Bryan. I mean, come on. I hope WWE utilizes his resurgence. He did lose to The Miz at SummerSlam, but the fact is that that's now going to run probably into WrestleMania next year, and hopefully Daniel Bryan is going to be a WWE champion once again. He is 4th, his charisma's insane, speed's insane, toughness insane, it's great, but someone else who's got amazing toughness and charisma in this tier, and is arguably probably the biggest person in pro wrestling because of the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Whilst his second place, John Cena, probably had a longer run than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Steve Austin is probably the reason that wrestling still exists in this kind of expanse today. John Cena goes in front of Steve Austin at number 2, and that's despite the fact that John Cena gets free statted by pretty much most of the cards on this list. He's still, because of his charisma, second place. Tied at the top, it's a regular story. I think it happened in WrestleMania 34 tier, in Titan tier as well. AJ Styles, not surprising, and The Undertaker. Who else is it going to be? Crazy speed on AJ Styles, toughness. There's no card in the tier that free stats either of those cards. They're both amazing, although I would like to see The Undertaker come back. I think the next time he's going to appear, people will think he's going to appear for SummerSlam, is going to be in Australia for the Super Showdown. AJ Styles, however, still WWE Champion and has been going. He's now the longest reigning SmackDown Live, or SmackDown WWE Champion or World Champion ever. Across the entire lifetime of SmackDown, he is the longest champion who's been on the show. So, there is your top to bottom, best and worst, male and female, that you need to know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I will say this. If there's anyone you think that should be higher or lower, I want one person that you would move higher and would move lower in this list in the comment section below. Make sure if you like what you see and you want to see this earlier in the tiers, just like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on as well. Until next time though, I have been SuperZombGBBQ. You have been awesome. One last thing, and that is 2. Don't leave!